drinks wine at a tailgate? Many wine moms. Why? Nothing says I'm a regular Pennsylvanian like sipping a glass of red wine at a tailgate. I mean, it's pretty... All right, chat. Let's get to the Christian Walker stuff because it's funny. It's really funny. Let's go.
I stayed silent as the atrocities committed against my mom were downplayed. I stayed silent when it came out that my father, Herschel Walker, had all these random kids across the country, none of whom he raised. And you know my favorite issue to talk about is father absence. Surprise, because it affected me. That's why I talk about it all the time, because it affected me. Family values, people. He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them. He was out having sex with other women. Do you care about family values? I was silent lie after lie after lie. The abortion card drops yesterday. It's literally his handwriting in the card. They say they have receipts, whatever. He gets on Twitter. He lies about it. Okay, I'm done. Done. Everything has been a lie. And so for the right to say I'm being suspicious for saying, hey, I'm done with the lies, when you all have been calling me saying, is this true about your dad? Gosh, we're not going to win Georgia, this candidate, all that's been you. You have no idea what I've been through in my life. You have no idea what me and my mom have survived. We could have ended this on day 1. We haven't. I haven't told any stories. I'm just saying, don't lie. Don't lie on my mom. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on the lives you've destroyed and act like you're some moral family man. Y'all should care about that, conservatives. And then for people on the left,
they will never, ever care about that. They'll never care about that. Christian, if they cared about it, you couldn't be an openly gay man. Like, do you think being an openly gay man would be okay in family values America? Like, why is your brain, like, why do you, like, this is what's funny to me is he's mad that his dad didn't live the family values lifestyle because that's hypocrisy. Fair enough. The guy's a piece of shit. He paid for, and we didn't even get into what exactly happened, Chad. I'm sorry. Let me back this up. Let me back up and actually lay it out from the beginning. Basically, Herschel Walker was accused of paying for abortions. Pro-life Herschel Walker paid for his girlfriend's abortion. This has happened like 20 fucking times, chat. This happens constantly. I mean, Republican paid for mistress abortion. Like, this happens on a regular fucking basis. Look at it. Look at this. Look how many there are. Despite claiming pro-life stance, Congressman Royka gave cash to colleague who pressured mistress into having abortion. Will the pro-life GOP rep who paid for an abortion ever tweet again? This is Scott DeJarlis. And pro-life rep Tim Murphy pressured mistress to get abortion. That's just 3 separate guys. We now have 4 separate guys off the top of your fucking head. DeJarlis. Okay, whatever, man. DW isn't gay because he doesn't identify with the scene. If you're a man who has sex with men and you're attracted to men sexually, you're gay. I get what you're trying to say, that he's a you know, a traitor or whatever, which is true. But when, you know, the American Taliban takes power, they're gonna fucking put you in a camp just next to everybody else. Pro-life Herschel Walker paid for a girlfriend's abortion. Woman has receipts and a get well card. She says the football star, now a Senate candidate, sent her. Herschel Walker, the football legend now running for Senate in Georgia, says he wants to completely ban abortion, likening it to murder and claiming there should be no exception for rape, incest, or the life of the mother. You know what we should have, chat? We should have a hypocrisy court. We should have hypocrisy court where we prosecute conservatives for this shit. Where we say, oh, okay, you're a conservative and you would like us to live in a theocratic hellscape where women are forced to carry pregnancies against term and it would be murder. All right, hypocrisy court. We're prosecuting for you for more murder. You advocate for this shit. You try to get it passed. Why don't you? We're going to have you live under your own fucking standards. Jesus Christ. I definitely respect the bravery it takes for Christian Walker to come out and speak against his father. Proud of him for that. I mean, yeah, I appreciate that. It's an objectively good thing. Like, he obviously sucks shit and he's terrible. But here, let me see if I can find. Herschel Walker, raise your kids. Hold on, let me see if I can find some of these. Not Herschel. There you go. Let me see. Wait, hold on, give me a second, chat. How many children does Herschel Walker have? Oh, hold on, let me see if I can find this. Oh, don't you just hate when your shit breaks, chat? Don't you just hate it?
I say the problem we have is we're going back to this mentality that the father leaves in the black family. He leaves and leaves the boys alone so they'll be raised by the mom.
Republican Senate candidate and former NFL great Herschel Walker said this on Diamond and Silk 2 years ago.
I said, you know, what we need to do is let's go in our neighborhood and let's become fathers of those fatherless child. Meaning, let's try to direct them in the right way.
Sounds like a good plan if only he practiced what he preached.
He also has repeatedly claimed he's a great father while, quote, bemoaning fatherless households. But the Daily Beast first reported that Walker has an estranged 10-year-old son. And then the next day, the Daily Beast broke another story that he actually has another son and a daughter, both of which have not been publicly disclosed until now.
What about teaching our black men that if you lay down with a woman and you make a baby, it is your responsibility to stay there to make sure that that child is raised?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Give
Jesus.
them good values that you have. That you say, you know what? And I said this to someone, I said, if you have a child with a woman, even if you have to leave that woman, you don't leave the child.
Georgia Republican senatorial candidate Herschel Walker has consistently criticized absentee black fathers. This is a pervasive myth that has been disproven, by the way. But it turns out that until now, he's never publicly acknowledged 3 of his own children. Walker was ordered to pay child support starting in 2014. This whole thing came out because of a paternity suit from the mom.
He was ordered by paternity court? He's not just a deadbeat. He had to actually be taken to court?
You try to work it out. You're going to be respectful to her. And you're going to be respectful.
Jesus.
Some politics, Mika, former University of Georgia and NFL. Back to some politics, Mika, former University of Georgia and NFL running back. Now, the Republican nominee for Georgia Senate, Herschel Walker, says he wants to completely ban abortion, likening it to murder and claiming there should be no exceptions for rape, incest, or even the life of the mother. But the Daily Beast is reporting this morning Walker urged a woman who asked not to be identified because of privacy concerns to have an abortion after she became pregnant with his child when they were dating in 2009. The woman said she did have the procedure and that Walker reimbursed her for it. According to the Daily Beast, quote, she supported her claims with a $575 receipt from the abortion clinic, a get well card from Walker, and a bank deposit receipt that included an image of a signed $700 personal check from Walker.
Now, chat, I gotta say, you go to an ATM, bro, get some cash. Like, what the fuck? I mean, it's bad enough that he's a total raging hypocrite, piece of shit liar, but he's also incompetently stupid. Like, god damn, dude. Not only are you a hypocritical moron, you're just an incompetent.
The Daily Beast independently corroborated details of the woman's claims.
I'm not just mad at the paper trail, chat. I'm also mad at I'm mad that he's so goddamn incompetent and he got elevated to this level. Like, there are no guardrails on our system. Like, this is the person that gets picked. This person this brain dead and incompetent. You think he's gonna suddenly get smart when he's designing government policy or interpreting the new information that comes in? Think he's gonna select the best possible policy choice?
Pick me next.
Pay me to throw. Thanks for the 13 months.
With a close friend, she told at the time, and who, according to the woman and the friend, took care of her in the days after the procedure. A lawyer representing Walker's campaign told the publication the story was false. Walker also released a statement calling the story a lie and threatened to sue the Daily Beast for defamation. NBC News has not yet verified the allegations or reviewed those documents. Hours after the story broke, Walker's son blasted his father's bid for a Senate seat, calling him a bad father, a liar, and a hypocrite. In a series of tweets, Christian Walker wrote this, quote, "Every family member of Herschel Walker asked him not to run for office because we all knew some of his past, every single one. He decided to give us the middle finger and air out all of his dirty laundry in public while simultaneously lying about it. I'm done." He went on, "I don't care about someone who has a bad past and takes accountability, but how dare you lie and act as though you're some moral, Christian, upright man? You've lived a life of destroying other people's lives. How dare you?" Again, that is from Herschel Walker's son. Joining us now.
Damn, dude. Jesus, dude. What can you even say? What do you even say at that point? And I gotta say, from my point of view, I think this is unless Christian Walker wants to do that liberal heel turn, which would be a smart move. It would be a decent play. It would be a decent play. Conservatives don't tend to forgive this kind of shit because they're a very top-down. It's a very top-down system over there. So if you go against the family, they don't forgive. Paul Gosar's entire family made ads saying our brother is a piece of shit, don't vote for him, and he still won. Yeah, but that's a really conservative district, right? So even if like 5% of people change their view, it doesn't matter. But in Georgia, it could make a big difference because it's such a toss-up state.
National political correspondent for Politico, Elena Schneider. Elena, good morning. What more can you tell us about these accusations from the Daily Beast? Who Christian Walker is, besides being Herschel Walker's son, because I think that's important as well. And what this means for Herschel Walker's campaign. Many Georgia Republicans don't seem to mind any of the accusations we've seen come down the pike.
So look, these allegations just came out less than 24 hours ago, so we're still going to see how this is going to affect this race. But even in these early hours, we've seen that this has had a pretty significant impact on this race. And this is one of the most important races in Senate races across the entire country. This is one where Herschel Walker is challenging Senator Raphael Warnock, who won this seat in the 2021 runoffs, which was important in giving Democrats their 50-50 split in the Senate. So that's how important this race is. But as you said, this is really sort of a 1-2 punch for Herschel Walker.
You call me just as Mike, so a gift to be a sub. I missed who it was. Would you please thank them for me? Oh, I did at the time, I'm sure.
Walker in his race. First, we obviously saw the allegations that came out yesterday from the Daily Beast that laid out some pretty compelling evidence about an abortion that he paid for, or that he allegedly paid for in 2009, even though he's a candidate who said that he does not support abortions, and basically in any cases, no exceptions for rape or incest. So this is a clear divergence in sort of what he says publicly, but what he says versus what he does personally. But the second sort of even more devastating blow potentially is what his son has said, Christian Walker. So Christian Walker is a TikTok influencer, sort of a conservative Gen Z influencer star who has really become very popular in social media and who has, been supportive of his father, not so much even on his social media as conservatives in Georgia would like, but has generally been supportive. And so it's notable that he has come out and said that he now is not only told his father to not run, but is really further, bringing to light these accusations about his violence and his hypocrisy. So it's sort of this really difficult 1-2 punch for Herschel Walker. The problem, though, is that, as you said, he's weathered a number of these controversies over the course of the summer and has managed to keep this race very, very tight. And I think it's important to remember how the Access Hollywood tape, although it was very shocking when it came out in 2016, ultimately did not dissuade people from voting for Donald Trump. And I think that in some ways, the electorate in Georgia is somewhat similarly dug in, but it'll be really fascinating to see how Democrats in Georgia try to use this as a way to continue to disqualify Herschel Walker as a candidate.
Yeah, and if the information bears out, Katty K, how Republican voters respond to it. I mean, there's two issues here. If the reports are true, it's the ultimate hypocrisy on the issue of abortion, to be against it in any scenario, but to find it convenient in your life. That's the ultimate hypocrisy on an issue that is incredibly important to many Americans. And then I think the letter from his son is piercing. It just remains to be seen if people are tuned in to these issues or just don't care and kind of stay in line again for someone like Trump, for example, without thinking about these details as you would perhaps if it was someone else.
Yeah, I mean, Mika, Willie said earlier on the show that Donald Trump is the strongest force in American politics at the moment. And is it the case in the story of Herschel Walker and this, depressingly dysfunctional relationship he seems to have with his son? I mean, who knows what's going on in that relationship? But does it have any impact, or is it just really all about Trump? Can Herschel Walker get away?
I mean, it really, if you're in a situation where somebody can say, I think it's murder if you have an abortion, and then get caught paying for an abortion for their mistress, and that not affect any votes, I think that would be a sign of utter fascism and nihilism has fully embraced the entire electorate. Like if a Republican would say, I believe that all abortionists should get the death penalty, and then he would vote for a guy who paid for an abortion for his mistress to lead him. Like that's the next level of nihilism. Like that's fucking crazy, dude. I believe abortion is murder, and I also paid for an abortion. What does that make this person? That makes them, according to their own words, a murderer. Or at least an accomplice. If you hire a hitman to kill your wife or a husband, chat, or your spouse, you get charged with murder. I mean, like, legitimately, like, what is happening?
With anything, because he is prepared to support Trump on the single biggest issue that matters to Donald Trump and to Donald Trump's supporters increasingly, which is about the lie around the 2020 election. I mean, Elena, these stories about Herschel Walker have been out there in Georgia. It seems like some people suggesting on social media yesterday, some conservative commentators saying, look, we kind of knew all of this about Herschel Walker, so what does this actually change? I mean, I guess it's sort of all of that's incredible that the stories have been out there and not really aired, and that conservatives don't really care about those stories, particularly when it comes to any issue of hypocrisy around abortion.
Yes, so you're alluding to some Georgia Republicans who basically said on Twitter last night that this is something that was whispered about, gossiped about, and sort of assumed that maybe people already knew about this. But I think that...
What? Could someone explain to me this logic? Could someone help me? Have you covered that Ukraine has forbidden negotiations with Kremlin leader Putin by decree? I mean, that's the way it's going to go. That's the way it's going to go. Obviously, Ukraine feels that the Ukrainian leadership feels that they have the full backing of the United States and the European Union. So they don't think that they actually have to, they're not fighting this war on their own, basically.
There is a big difference, though, between what conservatives and what people who move in political circles know privately and what then voters actually know who are not particularly tuned into elections, aren't paying attention to politics every day, and are seeing pretty devastating attack ads against Herschel Walker. And it's part of the reason why. I mean, look, this is a red state. Georgia is a very, very, red-leaning state, and it's only in the last couple of years that it has suddenly become incredibly competitive. And so I think it's really notable that Herschel Walker has faced these weathering attacks, yet has kept it close. But I think that this is just sort of another really challenging hurdle that we're going to see manifest in television ads, digital ads, in people's mailboxes, that's going to continue to make them sort of question whether or not this is a candidate that they can support.
Thanks for the 2 months. Have you seen Herschel Walker's tweets? Yeah, we're about to take a look at them.
To act as though I'm responsible for all of the things that...
Start over at the beginning.
I stayed silent as the atrocities committed against my mom were downplayed. I stayed silent when it came out that my father, Herschel Walker, had all these random kids across the country, none of whom he raised. And my favorite issue to talk about is father absence. Surprise, because it affected me. That's why I talk about it all the time, because it affected me. Family values, people. He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them. He was out having sex with other women. Do you care about family values? I was silent lie after lie after lie. The abortion card drops yesterday. It's literally his handwriting in the card. They say they have receipts, whatever. He gets on Twitter. He lies about it. Okay, I'm done. Done. Everything has been a lie. And so for the right to say I'm being suspicious for saying, hey, I'm done with the lies, when you all have been calling me saying, is this true about your dad? Gosh, we're not going to win Georgia, this candidate, all that's been you. You have no idea what I've been through in my life. You have no idea what me and my mom have survived. We could have ended this on day one. We haven't. I haven't told any stories. I'm just saying, don't lie. Don't lie on my mom. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on the lives you've destroyed and act like you're some moral family man. Y'all should care about that, conservatives. And then for people on the left to act as though I'm responsible for all of the things that he has done. I've talked about Father Epps. I've talked all these issues because they've been close to me, because they matter to me, because I went through it. That's why I've talked about it. So when you say, well, talk about your dad, but I'm saying this behavior is atrocious. Don't come for me. You don't have to like my politics. You don't have to like me. You don't have to. I'm just saying I'm done.
Dude, you waited till just now to do it. Everybody was pointing out your hypocrisy for a long time, bro. You just started doing it. What the fuck are you talking about? You just started. I am, he says, after an entire year.
With the lies. We were told at the beginning of this he was going to get ahead of his past, hold himself accountable, all of these different things, and that would have been fine. Go ahead. He didn't do any of that. Everything's been a lie. Everything's been downplayed. Everything's been cutting corners. The whole thing. And whose expense is that at? Me, my mom, as we're chased down by the media, we're terrorized, all these different things. People are questioning my authenticity. I'm done. Don't lie. Don't put this on me. This is a candidate issue, not a me issue. I wouldn't have spoken out if there weren't all these lies every day.
He's so performative though. He's so over the top performative that it just strikes as so fake. You know what I mean? He's just so over the top performative. It's like seeing a nugget of fool's gold. It doesn't even look like gold. How did you feel? How did you think that was gold?
And just two more things I have to address, and then I'm done with this buffoonery nutjob land. This is atrocious. People on the right are pulling up that I did a campaign event with my dad last year. They're saying, well, you supported them all last year and all this year. You look suspicious. No. You all have been calling me saying, why aren't you on the campaign trail with your dad? Why aren't you helping him out? This looks weird. You should go help him. And I've said to you calmly, I'm not getting involved. You don't know my family life. I did one event last year when we were told he was going to get ahead of his past and hold himself accountable. None of that happened. Everything's been a lie. So for me to tell you I'm not getting involved, and then you also be flooding my DMs and calling me saying, I didn't know all this about your dad, we're going to lose the Senate race. And then when I simply say, I'm done with the lies, you go, well, Christian looks suspicious. Excuse me?
I mean, Christian, do you not know? I mean, this is really sad, but it's I'm always surprised when people get into politics and they support the Panthers eating people's faces party, and then the Panther eats their face. They're like, how dare it eat my face? What's it supposed to eat my face? What the fuck are you talking about? He's also literally never done any videos about his dad until now. I mean, of course not. I don't remember him doing any videos about his dad. Feel free to correct me if he did. But it's I don't think he's very bright. Let's just put it that way, chat. Jesus.
I haven't told one story about what I experienced with him. I'm just simply...
You know what this reminds me of, chat? This reminds me of when the Access Hollywood tape dropped and a whole bunch of Republicans rushed to dump Trump. And what they didn't realize, and Christian apparently was too young to even remember that, is Republicans don't actually care about hypocrisy or anything. They don't care about family values. They don't give a shit that Christian Walker that his father paid for abortions. They don't give a shit that he was a terrible father to you, or that he has all these children out of wedlock, or he has this sexual, he's a complete promiscuous sexually, and they don't give a fuck. They don't care. The fact that you think they care is cute. And if you rush to, he's kicking his father before it has the story has enough time to bake. And I can tell you, I said earlier it would be a sign that the Republican Party has fully embraced nihilism and fascism. I didn't say that because I thought there was a doubt. It has. They don't care. You know, what is this story useful for? This story is useful for Democrats who might have voted for a Republican. Yeah, those people exist.
Saying, don't lie. And then for certain political pundits to be pulling up old pictures I posted of my dad, thinking they can police and determine what my relationship with my dad was. If you want to pull stuff up, I'll pull stuff up. Don't try me. Don't test my authenticity. All of this has been a lie, and you've known it. You've known. So don't you dare. And then to the left, who says, well, he did all this to your mom, and you were still with them, and, you know, that's weird. You know nothing about my life. My parents.
Literally nobody says that. Nobody is blaming you for having a relationship with your father. We're blaming you for being a total fucking hypocrite, man. That's what people are blaming you for. And you're finally speaking out and going, well, how dare you say this about... No one said that. No one said that. Okay, Loretta Lynn died. What a shame. I mean, this is like kind of a good arc for him.
I went through a dirty divorce. I went through a lot as a child, and you don't know anything. You don't know the ebbs and flows of our relationship. Nobody knows anything. So for everyone making these wild theories and whatever, that's crazy. This is about a bunch of lies. Again, I could, if I had an issue with whatever, I could have ended this day. Well, that's not my intention. My intention is don't lie about your life at the expense of me, my mom, and all of the people that you've affected throughout your life. You don't get to pretend you're some moral family guy. You don't get to pretend all these things. Talk policy, talk normal. Do not lie.
Herschel Walker and Trump go way back to the USFL days of the 80s. If Walker has a background like he has, you know, Trump has similar promiscuous lifestyle and still got the votes. This changes nothing. I mean, I personally don't think it changes anything. Although, did anybody accuse Trump of paying for an abortion? Did anybody actually accuse Trump of paying for an abortion? Like, did that actually happen? Because I don't feel like it did.
And just two more things.
Oh my God, people jumping into his fucking DMs being like, my anti-woke podcast, Uncancelable, is #1 in entertainment news. Now just raw dogging porn stars while his wife was pregnant. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. Like, I don't think Republicans give a bit of a shit about conservatives doing things. I don't think they ever have cared. I know my mom and I would really appreciate it if my father, Herschel Walker, stopped lying and making a mockery of us. You're not a family man when you left us to beg a bunch of women, threatened to kill us, and had us move over 6 times in 6 months running from your violence. I don't care about someone who has had a bad past and takes accountability, but how dare you lie and act as though you're some moral Christian upright man, lived a life of destroying other people's lives. How dare you? What do you think conservative politics is, Christian? What do you think it is? It's destroying people's lives. That's the essence of it, for personal gain. We haven't seen a leader like Governor DeSantis in my lifetime. He's at Waffle House frying hash browns for first responders, making sure people's homes are protected from looting. He's providing hurricane relief himself. Here he is retweeting some fucking fascist tweets. Why the fuck is this verified? Why is this account verified? What the fuck?
Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron ci ha definiti vomitevoli, cinici, irresponsabili. E qui la stampa italiana a dire, hai visto che ha detto Macron, che siamo irresponsabili. Vergogna. Irresponsabile Emmanuel Macron sono quelli che hanno bombardato la Libia perché gli dava fastidio che l'Italia avesse un rapporto privilegiato in campo energetico con Gheddafi, esponendoci al caos migrazione nel quale ci troviamo.
This is how fascist. This is an actual fascist. Oh my God, dude.
Cinici Emmanuel Macron sono i francesi che mandano la gendarmerie a rispedire indietro qualunque immigrato tenti di passare il confine a Ventimiglia. Ma soprattutto perché le cose vanno raccontate come si deve, vomitevole è chi... Buono, che lo vuoi tu? Ci hai mai tolto il pathos? Vomitevole è chi, come la Francia, continua a sfruttare l'Africa, stampando moneta per 14 nazioni africane sulle quali applica il signoraggio, facendo lavorare bambini nelle miniere, estraendo materie prime come accade in Niger, dove la Francia estrae il 30% dell'uranio che gli serve a far camminare le centrali nucleari e il 90% dei nigerini vive senza elettricità. Non ci venire a fare lezioni, Macron, perché l'Africa scappa da voi e la soluzione non è spostare gli africani in Europa, è liberare l'Africa da certi europei. Non accettiamo lezioni. Chiaro?
I think the thing that's really the reason why I'm pondering, because she's totally right about the things she's saying about Libya, and she's totally right about what she's saying about the West African franc and the exploitative and unequal exchange of France, Western Europe. And yeah, people leaving the continent because of colonialism, fleeing I mean, that is a reason that people leave. She's right about that. People don't want to immigrate from their homes. But the thing is, the reason why she's evil, chat, is she doesn't see that and go, wow, we should show compassion for those African migrants. We should show compassion for those Libyans fleeing the war. Her response is, kill them. Throw them back. Throw the children to the wolves that flee the war that we caused. That's her fucking plan. That's her argument. And she'll be just as aggressive in these countries if it was for her advantage as Macron is for France.
Is that there's actual populist truths in it. It's not just made up Q bullshit.
Cam the man, thank you for the tier 1. Well, the thing is, like, fascists, it's not that fascists have truth, that they will use half-truths or they'll use truths, then they'll veer them off to a scapegoat. Or they'll veer them to defend the capital that made the decisions in the first place. It's pretty fucking scary, man.
To other things, you show that to your child.
We have seen Herschel Walker continually deceive the truth multiple times, whether it was saying he graduated in the top 1% when he did not, claiming he was valid.
If you have dual Italian citizenship, that means that you're a member of the European Union and you can literally live in any country in the European Union. So that's pretty nice. Fascists discuss problems by pointing at minorities for cause, insanely powerful. What decline in material conditions allowed her to come to power? I'm confused on what issues Italy may have been going through to bring someone like her to power. The same thing that's happening. It's the neoliberalism. Neoliberalism has destroyed any alternative to the capitalist economic and social systems that we are suffering. And as capitalism suffers crises after crises, there is no alternative. And as the threats and the dissatisfaction accumulates, people only have one outlet in the far right.
Valedictorian of his high school when the institution never even offered this title. He lied on Glenn Beck's show, claiming to have a cure for the coronavirus in the form of a dry spray, which did not exist, following Donald Trump's disinfectants line years back, proving he is another snake oil salesman.
You might not know is just how many other things Walker says he's accomplished. So let's fact check a few. Herschel Walker launched a successful charity for veterans. Try again. Herschel Walker was a member of law enforcement. Herschel Walker was in the FBI.
MSNBC, along with many others, fact-checked Walker's lies repeatedly because that's simply what he does. He lies and then lies some more. He also, like Dr. Oz, doesn't even live in the state he is running in, which is Georgia, for the Senate. Herschel Walker, the Republican nominee for Senate in Georgia, who has been a frequent critic of absentee fathers, especially in black households, has acknowledged that he is the father of a second son he had not previously mentioned publicly, as well as an adult daughter who was born when he was in his early 20s. The revelation, reported on Thursday by the Daily Beast, is the second this week about children Mr. Walker has fathered but did not publicly disclose. The outlet reported on Tuesday about a 10-year-old son of Mr. Walker's with whom he is not in contact. The Daily Beast reporting occurred on June 14th, which stated Walker does not see and whom he did not legally acknowledge until being taken to court. Then on June 15th, one day after the 14th, the Daily Beast reported that Walker has a 13-year-old son as well. In confirming this, Walker's campaign also disclosed that he has a daughter who is about 40 years old. One of Walker's next public appearances after these stories broke was at an evangelical Christian conference in Nashville, Tennessee, that describes itself as the nation's most high-profile pro-family event. Naturally, he received resounding applause, telling the crowd that he is tired of people misleading the American people, and for some reason, tired of people misleading my family.
So it's been announced that Nick Cannon is having his 9th kid, meaning he has 2 women pregnant at the same time. Nick Cannon is everything wrong with men in America. Get home and raise your kids!
Fathers, it would be great if you stayed home and raised your kids instead of ran off to bang a bunch of women who weren't your baby mama. Stay home and raise your freaking kids. Your kids need a father. Get back home. Get back home.
As News One has noted, Christian Walker, after railing against men who don't raise their kids, has been very, very silent on his father's absence of his multiple children.
Ugh. Christian Walker is just... Ugh! It's so cringe, man.
Herschel Walker, has he officially announced that he's running for the Senate in Georgia? This is Donald Trump's candidate, Herschel Walker, football player. He's got some things to overcome in his run. He has multiple accusations of domestic abuse over the course of the past 20 years. He had some, I think, depression issues, which frankly I don't think should be something that's terribly relevant, but it's going to come up in the context of politics. And there's also that he doesn't know much about government. I think that could be part of it. And then one of his other liabilities, and again, I don't think you should, the sins of the father should be attributed to the son, or necessarily the sins of the son should be attributed to the father. But when they start actively campaigning for you, sometimes you may have to account for it. Here is Christian Walker, son of Georgia Senate candidate and former football legend Herschel Walker, at a gas station. And I don't know, have you seen those stickers that have like Joe Biden and people put him at gas?
Still amazes me how ahead of the curve leftist news commentators say you, Hasan, Majority Report, TYT covered this prelude to all this months ago. Same with other issues that come up. Because competence, accuracy, intelligence, charisma it doesn't matter. Either you are in the far right, in which case any slug will get promoted by billions of dollars, literally, or you are a corporate whore and you are in the nepotism circles of the mainstream media. There's no big source of like money that's going to be out there pushing me, TYT, Hasan, or any other leftist, right? The leftist content creators that you see are entirely self-made. God damn. And they rely quite frankly on your subscriptions. We rely on your subscriptions. We rely on your support. If you subscribe at tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, you can miss the ad break that's going on right now. I was compelled by Twitch to sign this contract because they're blowing up the platform so terribly. We might not even exist next year. So help support the stream by subscribing. Help people avoid the ads by gifting subs. If you have Amazon Prime, you can use your Twitch account to avoid the ads. The bottom of the hour ad break, because we're down here in the grassroots. And it's so funny because Twitch wants us to run ads. They want us to run ads so bad, right? But then they don't go and sell ads to anybody. So you see the same ad 10 times. So stupid, man.
That's praxis.
Wait, did you actually take it? What? Of course I did. All right, thank you, Mikey Bear, for the 5 gifted subs, and Kale Kin, thank you for the 5 tier 1s as well.
That's praxis.
All right, let's keep going.
Gas stations, they go like, I did that, and it's the price of the gas.
Oh.
Gas is going down, but get it while it's hot. And here is Christian Walker in a video that he posted.
I don't see any EU. Nice job, dude. Nice job, dude, because I just did it.
That's praxis.
Y'all said Joe Biden was going to be the great unifier? This is divisive to my bank account and my hard-earned money. Screw your...
kidding me? My hard-earned trust fund and my hard-earned TikTok money. That is so divisive. What the fuck are you talking about?
Unity. You think this is unifying? Just keeps going up. Oh, just keep going up. Joe Biden. This is Joe Biden for you families struggling to afford to get to work. That's unifying. That's bringing the nation together. Screw this. Disgusting. Oh, just keep going. Keep going. Democrats voted for this. Democrats voted for... What the fuck?
He doesn't know how many gallons of gas his tank holds?
That's praxis.
Does he not know how many gallons of gas his tank holds? Obviously, he's at 19 gallons, it looks like. I can't really tell because there's 5 pixels, but what has a 20-gallon tank? Like, what has 20 fucking gallon tanks?
Wait, what? I know this is a joke. But I was voting for the guy who was going to destroy America. You were paying $30 for gas under my guy.
Now, first off, we should say 20 gallons of gas is never going to cost you $30. Not at any time that any of you people were alive.
I remember when I first started driving, chat, and it was $1.25 a gallon. Back in my day.
That's praxis.
Second of all, who's got a 20-gallon gas tank? That's a big truck he's driving.
It's a big boy.
He's obviously using Supreme gas as opposed to regular. And then there's that other little thing about his understanding of struggling folks. The sweatshirt that he's wearing, apparently.
It says Givenchy on it.
Yeah. Now, I'm not familiar with these things, but my understanding is that's a $1,500 hoodie.
$1,295, so you can get that.
Apologies.
Just under
Can you pop that up? Can you show me some proof of that? Because I cannot wrap my head around wearing a Givenchy embroidered hoodie for $1,295.
Oh, they got financing. They can get it for interest-free payments of $323.
You know, here's the thing. Like, I get these shirts that I'm wearing now, and I wait till they're on
those
sale.
Givenchy?
No, they're not Givenchy. I wait for them to be on sale. Like I always, and it's just invariably, if I spend more than $35 on anything that I wear on the top of me, it will take about a day before I stain it with, I don't know, tomato sauce or red wine or drool. It doesn't matter.
Hey, Sam, if you're bleeding out of your gums, you should go to the doctor. Drool should not stain. Also, stop going to the Italian restaurant. Holy shit, dude. Christian Walker is absolutely fucking ridiculous, dude. He's absolutely ridiculous.
Back a little bit, but here he is.
The Democrats don't like me because I'm rich. I'm sorry that my parents were lazy on the couch all day waiting for handouts. I'm sorry that they built businesses and won championships, and now I can shop at Fendi and Givenchy.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Low Tech, thank you for the tier 2. I guess he's not so mad about his father after all. Honest to God, like a thing about conservatives that you should always understand is that everything they say is projection. Every insecurity, every fear, it's always projection. God damn, dude.
I just hope one day people realize it's not my fault that we work hard and build things worthwhile. End scene.
All right. First off, let me just say, not good at that. I mean, the whole end scene thing was that he actually thought that he was fooling people. And it was just like, my 8-year-old son is a better actor than this. Honestly. So put that aside. I love the part of like, I'm sorry my parents weren't lazy and sitting on the couch I mean,
as you sit on the couch. That's the thing that's so funny about rich people. I can't believe my parents weren't lazy as they sit on the couch with their fucking feet up. Like, what the fuck? You should work hard like my parents worked hard.
Let's be clear. I don't know. If Christian Walker had a business that he created all by himself. I mean, if this was a story where, like, I left home at age 17 and it was rough at first, but I got a job, you know, working at the supermarket, and then I paid my way through college, and then I got a job where I raised money and I earned all this money, and that's how I got my Givenchy thing. That would be something that I could see him bragging about.
He does say he did at least do some time as a Williams-Sonoma cash register. So I don't know if that's where the Givenchy hoodies and the giant truck.
But he's literally mocking people who are mocking him for complaining about working people with a $1,300 hoodie, and then responding with, well, I deserve this hoodie because my parents are rich.
Exactly. Yes, my parents worked hard. Let me go, drive around, a giant truck.
My parents are rich, so I deserve this $1,300 hoodie. Don't you plebes get it? I mean, like, honestly, who is the market for that? Is there a...
here's the thing. That's what's wild about Americans. Americans love this shit. They love unearned wealth. That's what Americans don't dream about working hard and creating something. They dream about vacationing. They dream about sitting on their fat fucking asses. They dream about winning Powerball or being a professional athlete, or that's it. That's the dream now. That's the highest form of life for the average. So yeah, a ton of people like to see a trust fund baby. They wish they were a trust fund baby. They're a temporarily embarrassed millionaire.
Single voter out there goes, you know what? I like this kid.
I think rich people, like, here's a one quote tweet that I found. Everyone's dunking on this guy for being wealthy because of his clothing, which isn't proof. Okay. And commenting on gas prices. So should rich people not care about inflation? Should you not care about people who can't afford gas if you can't afford it? Makes no sense. I mean, I would say...
Wait.
That was not Greenwald. But...
Wait, what? What, Greenwald said this?
No, Greenwald responds to this. Yeah.
Oh, all right. What does Glenn Greenwald have to say about this?
Mike, why is my dream job of winning Powerball catching trades? Bro, there's so many people who go to thrift stores so they can resell shit online and not work. The American dream. I mean, I personally, resellers are taking advantage of charity places so you can make a profit is it's tough to take. It's sort of like the people that take advantage of, by the way, chat, never donate your body to science. There was just a story that people were taking those bodies that were donated to science and then like selling them for profit. It's pretty disgusting, man.
So yeah, here's Glenn's verdict.
Let's see. His dad is Herschel Walker. He never worked a day in his life. I mean, we don't know if that's true, but see, I'm not even convinced that he's driving.
Herschel Walker's son, Christian, is black, gay, young, very smart, and very independent-minded. And he's going to be driving liberals absolutely crazy for a long time to come. Glenn Greenwald. I guess not, Glenn. Arizona man shocked to find out his mother's donated body was strapped to a chair and detonated in U.S. military blast testing. A Reuters report revealed that her brain was never used for Alzheimer's research. Instead, the body was sold to the U.S. Army so it could be used as part of an experiment to measure damage caused by roadside bombs. She was then supposedly strapped in a chair on some sort of apparatus, and a detonation took place underneath her to basically get a kind of an idea of what the human body goes through when a vehicle is hit by an IED. There was actually wording on this paperwork about performing these medical tests that may involve explosions. And we said no. We checked the no box on all of that. According to Reuters, at least 20 bodies donated to BRC were sold off to the Army for blast experiments without their families' consent. Bodies were sold for about $5,893 each. The donation center is no longer operating. It was raided in 2014 by the FBI following accusations that it was selling donated bodies for profit. It was during the 2014 raid that the agents made several horrific discoveries. Content warning, chat. Content warning. Content warning. This is going to be highly disturbing. Including a woman's head sewn onto a male's torso, dismembered limbs and heads strewn about, and a cooler filled with male genitalia. BRC's owner, Stephen Gore. Come on, simulation!
Huh.
Come on! Simulation writers, come on! Oh, did you not think I was going to click this article? Simulation writers. Oh, did you have to auto-generate a name very quickly? Fucking Christ. Nominative determinism, chat. Pled guilty to illegal control of an enterprise in 2015 and is currently serving probation.
Driving liberals crazy as it is now.
Herschel Walker, the football legend now running for Senate in Georgia, says he wants to completely ban abortion, likening it to murder and claiming there should be no exception for rape, incest, or life of the mother. The Republican candidate has supported at least one exception for himself. She supported these claims with a $575 receipt from the abortion clinic, a get well card for Walker, and a bank deposit receipt that included an image of a signed $700 personal check from Walker. The woman said there was a $125 difference because she ballparked the cost of an abortion after Googling the procedure and added on expenses such as travel and recovery costs. The woman said Walker, who was not married at the time, told her it would be more convenient to terminate the pregnancy, saying it was not the right time for him to have a child. It was a feeling she shared, but what she didn't know was that Walker had an out-of-wedlock child with another woman earlier that same year. Asked if Walker ever expressed regret for the decision, the woman said Walker never had. Asked why she came forward, the woman pointed to Walker's hardline anti-abortion position. I just can't with the hypocrisy anymore, she said. We all deserve better. He really likes having a choice. After the Daily Beast reached out to Walker campaign for comment, Robert Ingram, a lawyer representing both the campaign and Walker in his personal capacity, responded. This is a false story, Ingram said in the phone call, adding that he based that conclusion on anonymous sources. All you want to do is run with stories to target black conservatives, he said. You focus on black conservatives. They're trying to do... I mean, this is fucking pathetic. This is fucking pathetic. They all want to do the fucking wokeism. They all the moment they can do identity baseless, vulgar identity politics. They jump right in it. Conservatives are fucking pathetic, dude. Pathetic. JG, thanks for the 10 months, man. Just absolutely fucking pathetic. After the story was published, Walker released a statement in which he called the story a flat-out lie and said he denied it in the strongest possible terms. I'm not taking this anymore. I'm planning to sue the Daily Beast for this defamatory lie. It will be filed tomorrow morning, he said. Woman who also provided proof of her romantic relationship with Walker told the Daily Beast that he mailed her the check inside a get well card. The front of the card features a drawing of a steaming cup of tea and reads, "Rest, relax." The message continues on the inside of the card, "Recover. Pray you are feeling better." Woman, a registered Democrat who still communicates with Walker, said he did not tell her about his plan to run for the Senate before his announcement in August 2021. Since then, however, one of Walker's top surrogates has asked her repeatedly if she'd be willing to vouch for his character, reaching out as recently as August. In a 40-minute phone call this June about one of his out-of-wedlock children, the Daily Beast pressed Walker repeatedly on whether he had ever knowingly had an abortion with any of his past partners. After dodging the question multiple times, he ultimately said he had not. Weeks later, Walker was asked the NFL star whether he had ever funded or caused somebody to have an abortion. He replied twice, no.
Nice to meet you. Do you mind? Yeah. I'm doing well. I am. How are you? Ready? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I really, I don't want to sound rude in asking this, but, as a Christian and all the attacks that you're going through right now, I understand that, you had other children that weren't with women that weren't your wife. I could still support you, though, if... We're just about to do an interview, so they told us to. I don't want it to come off as rude at all, but you've never, funded an abortion or caused somebody to have an abortion, because I just, you know, the stuff about your children, you're standing up and you're being a good man.
I've been doing that forever, and that's why I said it. That's what I told him. I'll take care of all my kids. If you look at the report, they'll show you that he's angry. I want to be his dad. And I gave him my business card. Let's get it together. I want to help you out.
But thank you. That really reassures me and makes me feel better that you're a good Christian. Thank
you. Walker's lawyer tells me we are currently considering our options, but no final decision has been made on the future handling of the matter. Yeah, they're not gonna sue shit. They're not gonna sue shit. They would lose so fucking hard, it's not even funny. Walker's running in one of the most important races of the country, and outcome could determine which party controls the Senate. Because if Walker tried to sue the Daily Beast, he would be hit with an anti-slap suit. And he'd have to pay for all their lawyers. In terms of reporting, news organizations and individual journalists could use anti-slap statutes to protect themselves from the financial threat of groundless defamation case brought by a subject of an enterprise or investigative story. Under most anti-slap statutes, the person sued makes a motion to strike the case because it involves speech on a matter of public concern. The plaintiff then has the burden of showing a probability that they will prevail in the suit, and they must show that they have evidence that can result in a favorable verdict. If the plaintiff cannot meet this burden, the suit is dismissed through anti-slap proceedings. Many statutes allow defendants to collect attorney fees from the plaintiff. So, yeah, go ahead. Sue, idiot. Go fucking sue. Please do. Please sue the Daily Beast, you dumb motherfucker. Are you gonna cover Trump suing CNN? Same shit. The same fucking shit.
Are you watching the stream unsubbed? You're making income inequality worse. You are doing anti-praxis. We are the only Twitch stream that will not accept scam advertisers, and I will never fuck you over by selling you crap.